What's up, everyone? This is Chris, back again alongside my co-host Crystal. This is the Pedal Dance Podcast, and Crystal, what are we talking about today?
We are a bit delayed in this, but we are talking about the major Pokemon news that happened about a month ago. The reason why we're talking about it now, professionally, we feel like news is coming up again, so we just want to go ahead and discuss this, and also this gave us a lot more time to digest the news. But yeah, this will be completely Generation 8 news. But of course, they released several different apps. I think they released the Pokemon Masters app already. Is that true? I forgot to check into that.
I didn't check into that either. I didn't know it was already released. Let's see.
I would check, but a cat just laid in my lap and I cannot disturb him.
Yeah, it dropped June 27th.
Oh, we are terrible
Well,
Pokemon fans.
wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I just want to make sure.
Are you looking in your Play Store to see if you can download it?
You know what? That's a good idea.
But while you're checking, yeah, they released a lot of news regarding apps, transferring Pokemon, Pokemon Sleep, I believe. I can't remember what that's about, but I remember reading about it, and it just did not really interest me. Were you interested by that, Chris?
I don't know too much about it, honestly. So I don't want to say that I am or I'm not whenever I don't really know too much about it. I cannot find Pokemon Masters on my Play Store thing, so apparently it has not dropped yet.
Okay,
It
maybe
will.
this major news has. We will look into that a little bit more and add it to the comments below, but let's go ahead and talk about the more major news. They released several Pokemon in videos, website designs, etc. And we're going to go ahead and discuss them one by one first. And on the website I have, let's go ahead and talk about the first evolutionary line that we see. And I do apologize if I mispronounce any of the names. We can talk about Glossophyller and Eldegoss.
Gossifleur and Eldegoss.
So, do you have any opinions of the two Pokemon that are related to each other by evolution?
Um, Not really. I mean, to me, Gossifleur is a solid design. Um, I do like Eldegoss a little bit more than Gossifleur. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, both of them are decent designs. I just don't have. I don't know too much about them. All I can do is just judge based on appearance.
Oh, yeah, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're just being really shallow right now.
Right. So overall, just based on appearance, I like both of them.
Just like and not love.
Right. Just like.
Okay, and I actually have the same opinion. I think Gossifleur's design is a little basic for my taste, but I still like it regardless. I think its evolution looks a little unfluid into Eldegoss because if you look at their height and weight information, it really does not change significantly at all. It essentially stays the same height and weight for the most part. Um, it it just trades in its cute little flower hair for like a
A big
seed
tube.
afro. I did like how it kind of reminded me of Mirror B, though.
Oh, heck yeah. And who doesn't love Mirror B?
Apparently, the Pokemon Company, they're not making more of those games.
I'm just
But
saying now, I just want to say this since we brought this up earlier about Pokemon Masters. Mirror B better be in the game, or I'm going to be really, really disappointed.
I was told he wouldn't be, but
Oh, thanks for ruining my day, Crystal.
I'm just being honest with the information I was given. But I I feel like their evolutionary line looks incomplete. Personally, I hope there's something else. But since the gym leader uses Eldegoss, and we've already seen this evolutionary line in a reveal, I'm afraid this is all that they have to offer for this evolutionary line, which kind of saddens me. um, uh, what about you? Were you expecting a third evolution, a secondary typing, or anything else?
I was expecting a secondary typing, possibly fairy or poison.
Oh yeah, I was kind of expecting fairy as well. Just for me personally, there are some Pokemon types that I feel like need to have a secondary typing. For most grass Pokemon, grass is one of those types, just because they have 4 weaknesses. But do you have any other comments on them before we move on to the next Pokemon?
Um, no, I'm ready to move on. What about you?
Yeah, I can't really say I have anything else to say about them, so the next Pokemon on the list is Wooloo.
Lulu.
Ooh, yep, that cute sheep Pokemon that has been very viral and fans love.
Well, do you want to go first or me?
Well, I'll go ahead and lead, I guess. So, I like that we finally have another sheep Pokemon. Marie's line was just getting so lonely out there. Um, it will be interesting to see what Wooloo evolves into, if it even evolves at all. For all we know, it could just be another Furfrou. Um, but it's definitely cute. I personally would not use it on my team just because it's normal and it's too cute to get beaten up in battle. um, I feel like they could have done a little bit more with the design because it's just a sheep with a little extra hair in the front. But do you have any thoughts on Wooloo?
Oh yeah. And I'm with the majority of the fan base. I love Lulu. It's flipping adorable. I will be using it on my team whenever I do decide to actually play Shield, which yes, I'm getting Shield. And just the little pig the ponytails that it has. It's just too adorable. I love it. And yeah, the fact that it's normal type is a bit of a bummer, but I do see it getting an evolution. And I think it's actually going to be a really good evolution. I have high hopes for it. Even if it doesn't have an evolution, I'm still going to use it.
Do you think it's going to stay mono normal type if it gets an evolution?
I think it's going to have a secondary typing. What? I don't know. And honestly, I'd rather just be surprised.
We have such a different guess on both of these. Like, if it does evolve, I still expect it to be in mono normal type. But it's just one of those where we just have to wait and find out. But
Right.
I guess we can move on to the next one. The next one that we have on the list is Knight, and you can lead the discussion with that one.
Wait a minute. How'd you pronounce his name?
Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. You can pronounce its name. I just kind of glanced over its name and just. Oh my gosh, I am so bad. Okay, you talk about it.
Okay, so we're going over Corviknight.
Crap.
And this is the Pokemon that whenever it was in school always listened to My Chemical Romance. What? It's Emo Skarmory. You cannot say it's not.
It's Skarmory and Honchkrow having a baby.
Right. And it's basically just got into this is not a phase. I'm not sure if I'm gonna want to use it. I know Dorothy is. I know she's definitely gonna want to use it because it's a steel type Raven. Well, it looks like a steel type Raven. What is the typing for Corviknight actually?
It is flying in steel.
Steel. Right. That's what I thought. Okay. It's the design is really cool. I just think it's just not my type to actually use. Mainly because I don't listen to My Chemical Romance.
And I'm guessing Dorothy does.
I'm not sure actually. I know she listens to that type of music, so probably. I wouldn't put it past her.
So, my opinion of. I'm so sorry. I was just about to say its name wrong again.
Corviknight.
Corviknight. Okay. I just don't need to look at the spelling. I'm not dyslexic, but for some odd reason, I just like add a few letters in. But I think its type is brilliant because it looks dark flying, but when you actually dissect it and know what it's representing in England, like the flying steel type combination makes a whole lot of sense. I personally think it's in its final evolutionary stage if it has a one. Um, I think that is most likely the case because it wasn't Talonflame revealed before any of its previous evolutions.
No, technically Picky was. Oh, wait. I'm doing a totally different gen. Holy crap. Hey, watch it. I'm out of it. Leave me alone.
Oh, you're fine. I thought Talonflame was revealed before any of its evolutionary stages were.
I actually think Talonflame was revealed before Fletchling and Fletchinder.
Yeah, that sounds right. So I think this is the same instance in which we have a final evolution revealed before its previous stages. I mean, just thinking about this being a Pokemon with no pre-evolution is pretty scary. It'll be like a Hawlucha or a Lapras, a Pokemon in which you would need a pre-evolution. Just in my opinion, but I don't know if I'll use it or not. I guess it really just depends on how good it is and what I currently have on my team and what I like. When I look at it, I think it looks like it's going to be a lot like Skarmory with the stats. It looks like it's going to be a physical attacker with high defense, possibly okay speed. I just hope I'm wrong because we already have a Skarmory.
Yeah, so I'm not really interested in even thinking about using it.
But we'll see. So the next one on our list is Dreadnought. Oh yeah, I'm leading this one, I guess. So Dreadnought being a water rock type Pokemon. It's interesting. This is actually my least preferred reveal that they have shown us. I think there's just something about the design that just I feel like it's not as Pokemon-ish as it can look. I know that's a terrible way of putting it, but it looks like they drew aspects from Digimon, Bob the Builder, other anime, and just combined it into Dreadnought. Um, it'll be interesting to see if it has an evolutionary line or not, because Nessa uses it. Um, and just on the side notes, I like that they have a black gym leader that isn't a rock type or ground type gym leader, because that was kind of getting a little racist. But one could comment how Dreadnought is part rock, but um, can't really say I have a huge opinion of Dreadnought. How about you?
Oh, Dreadnought. This is actually my favorite of the released Pokemon. I love it. It's like Turtwig's older brother hung out with Scrafty and just became Punk. Come on, tell me you can see it with the flipping rock mohawk.
Well, I see it as more like Grottle's
Face.
older brother.
Say what?
I kind of see it more as Grottle's older brother, but yeah, I can see it.
I think it'd be Grottle's younger brother, but Turtwig's older brother. It'd be the middle.
Okay.
But I mean, the typing's not really that unique. Water, rock. There's other Pokemon that have that typing.
Yeah, I was thinking that myself, but I kind of can't complain because look at how many bug flying and normal flying types we have.
Good point. And I do like the fact it's like a snapping turtle, and with the strong jaw ability, it really fits. I do see this Pokemon evolving, and to me, I think it's really going to be a tank. This is definitely going to be on my team.
You're already convinced with 2 Pokemon. You should probably feel excited for this region.
Depends on the rest of the Pokemon that get released.
That is a fair statement, but the bar is already high, I feel like. But
Yeah, but it could always go south.
hopefully not. Let's stay optimistic about this. But yeah, do you have any other final thoughts on Dreadnought?
Honestly, that's about it. I just really like the way it looks. I have a feeling it's going to evolve as well, and I kind of hope it loses its water rock typing and goes water steel.
Kind of like pulling an Onyx to Steelix.
Right.
I think that would be a huge improvement, but the chances of that happening are very slim, in which a Pokemon drops a type to pick something else up, but we could always hope.
Exactly.
Okay, so the next on the list is another fan favorite, Yamper or Yamper.
Yamper.
Yamper. So yeah, I want to talk about Yamper.
Not much to say about it, honestly. It's an electric corgi. It's adorable. I'm saddened that I don't think it's going to be able to evolve. And he's a good pupper. He's a very good pupper.
So my comments on it, I'm probably not as positive.
Have we agreed on anything yet?
Well, we liked Eldegoss,
Yeah, that's true.
but Yamper. Well, my opinions, honestly, I feel bad for saying this, influenced by the real life corgi. My experience with the corgi has been mostly negative. So it's and Yamper obviously is a corgi Pokemon, and right now I probably just turned so many people off by saying that, but Yamper's just terrible flashbacks for me. But I have a friend who really loves corgis and always wanted a corgi Pokemon. And before the news was revealed that we would get a corgi Pokemon, I tried to guess what type it would be, and my first guess was just electric because of my interaction with the corgi. It was always just energetic, was always loud, alert, active, and I think the electric type just fits so well for it. It could have been electric normal as well, but I don't think it will have an evolutionary line as well. Um, yeah, I guess that's all the comments I really have on it. It looks like it's going to be a physical attacker too.
And that
So,
leaves
yeah.
one
Oh, sorry.
Pokemon. I was saying that only leaves one Pokemon now, huh?
Oh no, we still have two more to talk about the next one. Um,
Two more. Oh, I completely forgot about those. How can I forget about those?
yeah, I was just about to say that's really sad, but okay. So the next one's my personal favorite of the release, Impidimp. We finally have a dark fairy. Like, this makes me happy. Like, when I imagined our first dark fairy Pokemon, I envisioned like an evil Tinkerbell or something. um, I'm actually shocked something like Impidimp was allowed to be created by the Pokemon company because it just looks like a little devil.
It's
And
adorable.
and this is a game that's typically marketed to children, but like I'm not complaining. It's just curious how it got approved. And when I saw the close-up picture of Impidimp before I saw its type reveal, like I think its typing is very fitting. I looked at it and thought it was either Dark Fairy or Ghost Fairy. So it has a great type. I'm afraid it's going to be like Sableye and can't evolve, but I really hope I'm wrong. I want to use it on my team, but I'll be hesitant to use it if it can't evolve, but it's just so cool looking and probably has a lot of interesting moves. What are your thoughts on it?
Sableye's younger cousin. Seriously, the first time I saw it, it just gave off some major Sableye vibes. And I remember you and I talking about this because whenever I first saw the picture, I didn't get it in I didn't get the picture like in real good quality. So from what I saw, it wasn't pink, it was red. I remember you and I talking about this and you asking me what typing I thought it was, and you had a weird expression, you had a weird reaction to me saying fire dark or fire ghost or whatever I said, just because I couldn't see the pink. All I saw was red and black.
Oh yeah, the first revealed picture of it was kind of crappy.
Yeah, it was really horrible quality. But after that, I did let you know that I did see the pink, and if I would have saw that, then I would have said something like Dark Fairy. But I'm excited for it. I don't know if I'm going to use it, kind of like the same as you are. I'm kind of hoping it does evolve. Um, I might not if it doesn't evolve because it just feels like one of those that needs to evolve. Because there's so many cool options that they can go with for an evolution. And I'm not as surprised as you are that this actually made it
Well,
into a Pokemon game.
I guess now thinking about it, if you look at the Pokédex descriptions for a lot of Pokemon, some of them aren't really child friendly, so. But
Exactly.
I'm just kind of mainly referring to the design.
Yeah, fair enough. But
But
I think it's really cool. I think it's a really neat idea.
oh yeah, I'm definitely most excited for that one, so I have an eye out for it. But now we can talk about the final two legendaries, the mascots of Sword and Shield. Oh my gosh, I hope I don't mess up the names.
Do you want me to say them?
Yeah, please.
Zacian and Zamazenta.
Oh gosh. So, obviously you said you're getting the Shield version, so I'm guessing that was your favorite of the mascots?
Uh, Out of the two, yeah, I do like Zamazenta. Um, I just don't know about the whole face shield thing. I think they could have done something different. I mean, it looks all right. I just feel like they could have done something better. But it's not as to me it's not as lazy as what they did with Zacian.
Agreed.
Oh look, a wolf with a sword in his mouth. Okay, congratulations. There's so many other things. This is something that you and I actually talked about a while back as well.
Yeah, I feel like they could have done more for both of the Pokemon. I felt like especially Zacian, this sword should have been like an extension of its tail. That way it's at least part of its body.
Right.
Or even heck, something like Wolverine and just having a sword come out of its arm or something.
That would have been really cool to see.
Especially since it already looks like a wolf, so I think that could have been fitting, but there was just so much missed opportunity with that Pokemon.
And how did it even get the sword in the first place?
The owner said play fetch through a stick and it traveled all the way to England and picked up a sword.
You know what? I'm not going to question it. We're just going to roll with it.
Yep, that's exactly what happens. His owner was He-Man or something. Or Thor. But when you look at them, what type combination would you imagine them to be? Because there's a reason why their typing has not been revealed yet.
I don't know. Still something for both of them. I think
So,
both of them are going to have steel as a primary typing. I just don't know the secondary typing. But I do know they will have secondary typing. If they don't, I'm going to be highly upset.
um, for me, my guess is, I guess you could say a little bit more flexible. I think they will both have a mutual type in common. I don't know if that would be steel or fighting type, but we could be in getting some news that's a huge shock because I thought Galeo, or yeah, I thought its type combination was very shocking. Like people like me were guessing it was gonna be fire normal, fire fighting, and it just whips out psychic and steel. So I think it's completely possible for a complete change in pace. I can see them both being fairy as well. Possibly dark. I'm just not going to roll out any types just because I feel like whenever I've done that, they usually end up becoming that type. Like, when I saw Pyukumuku's design, I did not want to guess any type, but I saw it and said, okay, I'll guess which type it is not, and it is not water. And my dumb butt didn't think it was a sea cucumber. So actually, you know what? Let me do that right now just to see if we can make these the best typing ever.
Yeah, you have fun.
Okay, yeah. One will be Steel Dark. The other one will be a Steel Fairy. Brilliant.
All right.
Okay, so I guess no other comments about the legendaries.
As of right now, no, because we only got to see what, like 20 seconds of them. So
plus the design art for the games, if that counts. But yeah, we should hear more from them within a month or two.
Hopefully.
That's usually what they did with Legendaries, but let's see what else is on the list. Oh yeah, Dynamax. What should we say about Dynamax?
I don't like it. That's all you need to know. I don't like it. We had something really good. We had good gameplay mechanics when it came to Mega Evolution and even Z moves. But this is just stupid.
For me, I won't say that I hate it, but I felt like the bar was really high. Mega Evolution was one of the best things ever. Z moves, it was alright. And then Dynamax. Of course, I need to experience it in the game to have a solid opinion, but I just felt like the bar just keeps getting lowered, and they eliminated Mega Evolution and Z moves, so we can't even fall on those anymore.
It just reminds me of Totem Pokemon, just bigger Totem Pokemon.
In a way, they're kind of like Megas and Z Pokemon as well, because they become big like Totem Pokemon. Their stats get a huge upgrade temporarily, and their attacks are more powerful and have side effects.
And the fact that it only lasts for 3 turns.
Oh yeah, that's the most interesting part. In the competitive scene, when Dynamax becomes a thing, everyone's going to run Protect to get rid of those 3 turns as soon as possible and Fake Out.
Right. And it's like you said, it was just a really, really big step down to me.
Yeah, but I can't wait to at least experience it, because I'm open to having my mind change. I hope my mind changes. And we were just talking earlier, we can use it as a play on words for dinosaur Pokemon. We can change it to Dynamax. Yeah, that's lame. But
Dynamite.
But it's an interesting mechanic nonetheless.
I actually want to name my. If I ever get a Tyrantrum or an Aurorus, I'm going to name it Dynamax.
Oh gosh.
What?
The Dynamax.
You Dynamaxed your Dynamax.
Oh gosh. But there are plenty of other dinosaur Pokemon, because who knows if they'll even make the cut into the game. Oh yeah, we can also talk about that at the end as well. But
oh, we're really gonna do that? Yeah, why not? We just won't go in too deep with it.
Well, actually, let's go ahead and talk about it now if we're done talking about Dynamax.
Okay, let's jump into it.
Okay, so of course, everyone or most everyone has heard the news about essentially no national dex. There are Pokemon that are going to make the cut, and then that is it. They said they are open to the opportunities and chances to patch Pokemon into future developments of the game, but the chances of us actually getting a national dex at that point are still slim to nothing. What are your opinions on that?
I just don't care. Because for me personally... Say what?
Oh, I just said thank you.
Oh. I just don't really care. I don't feel the Pokédex. I don't do that. That's just... all I do is just play the main storylines of the game. I've never once completed a Pokédex. That's just not for me. Yeah, I know that the theme of the very first game and stuff was gotta catch them all, but that just wasn't my thing. The main thing for me was just be collecting all the badges and beating the Elite Four and becoming the champion and whatever I wanted to do afterwards. That's all it was for me. So me personally, I do not have any real connection to having a national dex because I never did anything with the national dex.
Oh yeah, I think people are mostly upset because they are are just afraid a lot of their favorite Pokemon aren't coming through, and they can't use their competitive Landorus, Incineroar, etc.
That's good. Learn to use something else.
But yeah, I feel completely neutral, leaning positive towards that news because, like, when they add so much Pokemon generation after generation, sometimes I do try to complete the National Dex, and even though it's easier with trading globally online, it's still just becoming more and more exhausting. So I really like this idea. I think it also could add more to the story. And this is a huge region. They're still being generous. They've already have a lot of Pokemon confirmed. I haven't counted the numbers that Cerebi has kept track of, but there's definitely over 100 that are already confirmed. And we still have a ways to go to actually see more Pokemon revealed. So I still think the number is going to be generous regardless. Um, but yeah, I guess we don't really have any more comments on that. And I'm a little biased. Cerebi already showed us Pokemon that are a part of it, and a lot of mine that are my favorites are a part of the game already. Um, Vespiquen, Roserade, and Flygon. I don't know if Crobat's confirmed yet, but it has been in essentially every Pokemon game, so it would be blasphemous not to have Crobat. But if they don't include Crobat, I won't be insanely butthurt about it. I still have a lot of my favorites. But
even if I didn't have any of my favorites, that wouldn't stop me from enjoying the game.
oh yeah, like the game's meant to be enjoyed and try out new Pokemon.
That's the thing that people love about different regions and seeing the new Pokemon that get added. That's what people loved so much about playing the very first games, because you didn't know what to expect. You didn't know what Pokemon were there. And if you don't try out new Pokemon, you're never going to like any of the new Pokemon. Because people can just like see one and say, "Oh, that's stupid. It looks stupid. I bet you it's not that good," and never use it. And then one day they decide to use it, and they're like, "Well, wow, this Pokemon is amazing. Why didn't I use it sooner?" And it's just, people need to start using Pokemon that they don't think they would ever use. Because I found that there's some Pokemon I never used from the beginning that I tried later on and I grown to really like, that I wish I would have given a chance sooner. And with this, you won't have to. You just get to start out with a lot of new Pokemon that nobody knows. And that's the exciting part of it for me.
Oh yeah, agreed. But to also elaborate on an earlier comment, we have saw the gameplay that they have shown us, and there's still a lot of Pokemon from previous generations. The Machop line, the Snover line, the Electrike line, Wingull. Like the list is very long. I won't go into the complete details, but there are already so many from previous generations revealed, so players would still have that, I guess you can say, precaution if they want to use Pokemon that they're more familiar with, so they still have that flexibility.
Right.
Which I will forever judge Pokemon Black and White for lacking that flexibility, but that's a whole nother ball game. So I guess we can start talking more about the what we saw in that playthrough, the overworld encounters, just like in Let's Go. I think this is brilliant. They have overworld encounters and surprise encounters. That way, fans of both types are satisfied. Um, it is just really interesting, especially how early in the game, at level 11 or whatever, you can encounter a level 20 some Machoke. Um, I think that makes it more realistic too. Um, I'm I'm just a huge fan of this mechanic. What are your thoughts on that overworld encounter?
I like it for the most part. There is one thing that's a little bit of a bummer for me about it, and that is I'm a person who really loves Nuzlocks, and not knowing what you're going to encounter is one of the best things about Nuzlocke. So maybe they'll have an actual some type of thing to where you can actually turn off overworld sprites and stuff like that and actually just encounter them normally. If that's fine and you can like switch between the two, I'm cool with that. But overall, I like it. I like the idea of seeing, and plus having the higher levels and the lower level areas, like you said, does make it seem more realistic, and I really do love it. But it's just that small thing for me where it's like I love Nuzlocke and I want to see people that actually do a Nuzlocke.
I think the Nuzlocke's roles will have to adapt to this change. I mean, of course, I'm not really sure who the creator of the Nuzlocke is and like who has say in the changes, but if I had to guess, they probably still want to keep the surprise, and if you cannot turn off the overworld encounters, then they'll probably just force the Nuzlocke to say ignore all the overworld and go for the surprise ones only. Like, that would just be my best guess on how Nuzlocke would change.
Yeah, it's it's one of those things that's just going to have to be adapted to. It's going to be annoying, but I mean, it's doable. It's going to be a huge change, but yeah, overall, I still like the idea of the whole overworld thing. So we're good on that.
Okay, so the next aspect that I noticed is personally my favorite thing I've liked about the releases, and this is probably really small for most people, but I really like the weather and field changes. Um, so, of course, referencing Generation 5 again, they changed seasons between summer, fall, or autumn, spring, and winter. And that was good. It helped incorporate some change in weather and scenery, but you had to wait such a long time or change the date in your DS and all this nonsense. But now the weather actually changes on a daily basis in different routes. And I think that is a huge step up, especially for someone like me who loves ice type Pokemon too much. We saw the Snover in the gameplay and Vanillite, so you have options from nearly the get go. So I'm pretty bleeping happy about that, and having the weather effects in the battle, like the electric terrain and the thunderstorm, like that makes it even more realistic too. And that also gives you more to strategize with. What are your thoughts on the weather?
You pretty much just took everything out of my mouth. I love the idea. And like you said, the whole day by day weather changing, it gives off a lot of possibilities of what you can catch in any given time, which I'm all for that unpredictability. I love it. Because being on the same route 2 different days and being able to see different Pokemon in that same route, it's just really cool. It's one of those things that you never thought would happen growing up with the original games because you're so used to seeing the same Pokemon in the same area. So I agree, it is a complete step up.
Oh yeah, and it's also more realistic that way too.
Well, except for sunny one day, snowing one day, and then going back to sunny the next day. So I won't
Uh,
say that's too realistic, but
if you live in some parts of the area of the United States,
yeah, good point.
okay, so the next one I know you said you were excited for. You can ride your bike into the water, so
I
eliminating the need to surf.
I am so pumped for this. Professor Oak can finally shut up about this. I am so pumped for this.
You and other fans are probably more pumped than I am. I mean, it looks like they are still getting rid of HMs because you can ride your bike in the water. So that makes me wonder how the rest of the HMs are being accommodated in this game. But yeah, that's pretty exciting and kind of out of this world. That's not realistic to ride your bike in the water, but it is a really nifty idea.
Oh, very much so. I'm really looking forward to this because as a person who always accidentally pressed select whenever we had the bike selected on our game, who accidentally always press select in the water, not the time to use that, seeing that so many times. And so yeah, this is big for me. I'm really pumped for this.
I can't help but to wonder, do you think the bike will be surf ready from the get-go, or do you think it will have to be like an upgrade, like how in some games you get your Pokédex upgraded?
Honestly, I hope you have to upgrade it because just having that right off the bat just seems a little too much.
Oh yeah, agreed, and that just gives you more to look forward to in the game.
Right.
I'm really interested in seeing how the fishing mechanics are working in this game because they have changed it here and there over time. I just hope fishing comes back, and I just honestly hope it's more like the fire red and leaf green mechanic, in which there's not really a set time for you to reel it in. But I also hope you can see like shadows of Pokemon in the water, so you know like how you know what you're aiming for.
Right. That'd be really cool.
But I guess that's probably asking too much, but we'll see. Is there anything else about the gameplay that you want to discuss?
Right off the top of my head, not really, but I'm pretty sure we'll have something by the next time we do a new video. So,
Oh yeah,
but that's
there is something else I forgot. We can talk about the characters. Like the professor is an older woman. I forgot her name, honestly. I just remember the memes that were made. Um,
what was her name?
I just remembered something that was shared. Instead of her giving you Pokemon, she gives you these candies, and it was a picture of the candies that my grandma used to give us. I'm guessing you're looking up her name right now.
I'm trying to.
And of course, Sonia or Sonia, depending on your accent, and
Right.
Nessa were revealed. I don't remember anything about the Grass Gym leader at all.
I don't know. He kind of reminded me of somebody like design wise. He kind of reminded me of somebody from Coliseum and XD, just the way he looked.
So it makes sense he would have the Mirror Bee Pokemon.
Magnolia.
Ah. Oh yeah, and based on a map analysis, this isn't even older news, but it looks like there'll be less than 8 gyms, possibly around 5 or 6. If that is true, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I kind of like the 8 gyms that we've been used to for so long. That's just one of those things I don't think that they have to change. There's no need.
For me, I want them to change that. Maybe not in the less is more direction, but the more is more direction. I I've always wanted a change with something like that. Ever since Ash arrived into the Johto region in the anime, there was one line I think Nurse Joy said, "In this region, you need to collect 8 gym badges." So based on her verbiage, the word choice she has, in some regions it must not always be 8 badges in order to participate in the Pokemon League. So I've been waiting for that change up for a really long time. So I hope there's a change up. Of course, I prefer more, but if there's less, then that's fine too. But yeah, I think you would personally be cool to have a gym for every type, and then have the entire Pokemon League like actually hard with trainers of Pokemon with many different types instead of just like one theme. But I'm probably asking too much.
Maybe just a little.
But I guess that's all we can talk about for the game news and all that. So I guess without further ado, let's talk about the Pokemon of the week.
And who would that be?
Well, just a little background. We actually used a random number generator to give us a Pokédex number for this Pokemon. And it is number 795 with the Pokédex entry and Moon as one of the Ultra Beasts. It refuses to touch anything, perhaps because it senses some uncleanliness in this world. And
Sounds like you.
I completely understand. This world is so filthy. If I came from another planet or dimension, I'd probably be a clean freak as well.
Told you it sounded like you.
Exactly, and this is actually my favorite Ultra Beast, even without reading that description. And of course, it's overused, an uncommon type combination. Of course, bug fighting Pheromosa. That is our Pokemon of the week. And I also loved how its Japanese and American label was Ultra Beast 2 Beauty.
Huh. I just learned something new. That's pretty cool.
Yep, all Ultra Beasts have a code name, and Beauty is definitely fitting for it. And I also think I have a little bit more trivia. You're, of course, familiar with that Beast Boost ability, correct?
Yes, I am.
Pheromosa can never have Beast Boost for either the defense or the special defense in any situation.
Huh.
Because its defenses are so insanely low. At level 50, the maximum stat it could have in either defense or special defense is 97. And if you look at the lowest attack, special attack, and speed it could possibly have, for the attacks, 127, and for the speed, 140. So it can never boost its defenses.
Oh, wow.
Yep, it is meant to be a glass cannon.
In the most literal sense.
Yep, so I guess that's all for Pokemon of the Week. Do you have any closing discussion, comments, or anything else?
I'm actually all right for now. What about you?
I guess we don't really have anything else. We'll see if we can do another podcast next week, into which most likely we will. I'm pretty optimistic. But yeah, that's all. Thank you all so much for listening to the Pedal Dance podcast. This is Crystal with my co-host Chris signing off, and you all have a great week, great month, just whenever next time is.
And don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. All that fun stuff.
You're telling them what to do.
I'm bossy.
We already have a government and everyone's parents that do that. But I guess if they want to do that, they're free to.
You better do it.
This is us signing off.
Later.